What is inflation? Inflation is a situation where aggregated price level of goods and services in an economy increase for a specific amount of time. Inflation is measured by the Consumer Price Index, in short CPI. The function of CPI is to tell the value of money that people hold. If cost increases, that means an inflation is happening. If cost decreases, that means a deflation is happening.
Inflation could be a good sign of a growing economy, but only to a certain extent. If it gets out of control, it might give negative impacts to both economy and consumers, just like what Zimbabwe faced.
Let us explore how inflation has affected Zimbabwe through real data and key stats. In just 1 year, inflation skyrocketed from 55.3% to 85.7%, causing major economic stress. Consumer Price Index shows steep increases across all essentials, especially food, with over 200% inflation. Basic goods like a loaf of bread now cost over $28.50 Zimbabwean, shows how weak the currency has become. Food inflation hit 285% in 2023, made worse by drought and increased dependence on food imports. Zimbabwe introduced a new currency, ZAKI, in 2024, but it's already lost nearly half its value. The cost of essential daily items surged by 21.6% in just 1 month. Without strong reform, inflation is pushing Zimbabwe deeper into economic hardship.
Let's track inflation in Zimbabwe with CPI. When price of food increase, it means inflation happens. But how do we actually measure inflation? To measure inflation, we use this formula, where the P0 equal to the new price minus it with original price. After divide by P0, we need to multiply with 100%. So it shows price increase a lot, meaning higher cost of living for consumer.
Now, we move into effects of inflation. Effects of inflation is divided into two, which is anticipated inflation and unanticipated inflation. For anticipated inflation, it means when people expect prices to rise in the future and they prepare for it in advance. However, it has positive and negative effects for the suppliers and consumers, and even the country's economy, as you can read on this slide. The anticipated inflation effects faced by Zimbabwe are frequent price adjustment, which is many costs, reduced purchasing power and cost of living planning, and also inflation-driven salary and business costs. Next, unanticipated inflation means a sudden rise in prices that people do not expect since it's not planned for. It causes disruption and unfair effects on savings, wages, contracts, and investment. Unanticipated inflation effects faced by Zimbabwe are loss of savings and real income, currency shock and contract loss, and also industry collapse and job loss.
Demand for goods and services is more than the supply. For example, during festive season, people spend more, so prices go up because sellers know people willing to pay more. Production costs increase, so businesses raise prices to cover their costs. A. Wage push inflation. When salaries go up, companies raise prices to cover the extra costs. B. Import push inflation. If imported goods cost more, local production become expensive too. C. Natural disasters. Disaster or lack of materials make production harder, causing price to rise. D. Fall in exchange rates. When the value of currency drops, import become more expensive, causing price to rise. E. Tax push inflation. If the government raises taxes, companies may increase prices to cover the added costs. F. Profit push inflation. Sometimes suppliers increase prices just to earn more profit, even if costs stay the same. When the central bank prints too much money, the value drops and prices soar. For example, Zimbabwe experienced extreme inflation due to overprinting.